Welcome to the Scatterpot Podcast, where we scatter you all over the place just like butter on toast. Delicious, delicious toast. Well, relatively delicious toast. I'm Josh.
I'm Kanan.
And I'm David.
And this is the Scatterpot Podcast.
Relatively decent
Relatively
toast.
decent toast.
No, so one thing I want to say before we get started. Today marks a special day. In the fact that Huber now has his own microphone.
Thank you.
That round of applause was weak because Huber is spineless.
Yeah.
The editor will add in some claps, won't he? Right?
The editor denies your request. Because the editor is still salty from when we did the clap Sunday last time. Yeah, the editor's still not happy about that.
That's funny.
Also, I just want to say this also. So, as you know, we have a television in our studio.
Yeah.
And we always have something fun and poignant playing in the background.
There's nothing on the TV right now.
It's black as my soul.
Hold on.
It's going to take like 20 minutes to turn on.
Hey, it's an old
It's
an old projection style Ray television. Baby, we got Oscar nominated films in here now. We have Spiderman Into the Spiderverse playing on this TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen this movie
well,
yet.
it can't. Josh, don't get distracted because this movie is beautiful and
I'm
amazing.
gonna get so distracted.
Well,
How
I'm
can
just
I
gonna-
do a podcast when I've got a movie on that I've wanted to see for a hot minute and I can't
I'll let
watch
you
it?
borrow the DVD. I bought it today at Walmart. I'll let you borrow
There you
it.
go.
But so, Josh, you get to see an Oscar-winning movie.
And it's a cartoon in your face, wife.
Don't.
Oh.
Sorry. I love her to death, but she doesn't like cartoons.
Well, actually, then this movie's perfect for her for one reason. There's a line in this movie that says, "You got a problem with cartoons?" So
That's
every
great.
time my dad actually calls this movie it's animation. First off, it's not a cartoon.
It's not a cartoon, Dad.
Dad, it's called art.
Yes. I think
Do you
everybody
guys
here.
remember that deleted scenes from The
Yes.
Office?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's called hentai,
and
it's art.
I-
But also, honestly, this movie is art. Like, I love this movie. It won the Oscar for Best Animated Movie.
Oh well,
Where
let's look away from the screen and focus.
But how can you not look
Focus,
away at those
boys.
bright colors?
Focus, boys.
Epilepsy.
Epilepsy.
Yeah. What are we gonna talk about?
Right. So how was your guys' weeks?
Oof.
It was all right. Did school, work, sleep.
What happened at work? You told us to remind you about what happened at work.
That's right, with a guy on a
forklift.
It didn't happen to me, but the guy I work with, he used to work at just different areas, and he's been like around like warehouses and stuff like that. So he told me a story one time that he was using the forklift, and you're not supposed to ride on the forklift unless you're sitting on it. You're not supposed to ride in the front, and you're not supposed to ride in the back. Well, this guy would always ride in the back of his forklift in order to do stuff. So one day they were backing up to take something off a shelf, and he can just grab it instead of using the forklift. So he backs up. He backs up too far and crushes the guy's leg into the shelf, and the
Did
guy's
this happen today?
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought this happened like
His leg was shattered.
Oh my gosh!
So
Getting backed up on a forklift? Like he backed up on the forklift.
like the guy was on the back of the forklift, and then so I see you're watching the movie though, Josh.
I'm watching it and listening. This is very difficult.
Yes.
should we stop it?
No. See, I think that was a very good movie
Yeah.
right there.
It's a quality movie.
Okay.
Actually-
I don't know. I'm gonna redirect my focus. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in this conversation.
If you guys
Kanan,
want,
how was your week?
Hold on. If you guys want to join us, I'll add a moment, like a momentary cue when I started the movie, so you guys can see what's on the screen with us and what's distracting Josh Lee every second. He says this. He nods in disagreement as he looks at the screen.
Yeah.
This was a horrible idea, but I'm so glad. I
I'm
did
pretty positive my microphone is about to fall.
it. Dude.
Look at it. Look at how bent it is.
It's all right.
Hubert, look at it.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It's about to fall.
Dude, don't worry. If it does fall, we'll figure
I
it
will
out.
catch it.
Y'all either hear some banging audio.
No, I'll definitely cut it out if his microphone falls. So my week has been update for me. I recently got hired as an intern for my church, an official intern. And unlike Huber, the editor is actually going to add like some cheering sound effects, and the YouTube video will probably have confetti.
There you go.
So Kanan got a new job at an internship at my church that I've been at for years. So I now get paid to do what I do.
There you go.
The stuff I've been doing
Which
for
isn't
free.
much.
Hey.
That'll get taxed.
Now you're getting taxed, boy.
Boy.
Welcome to the world.
My tax is called a
Uncle
tithe.
Sam is calling for your money. So
My
better
tax
pay
is
up.
called a tithe.
I'm still dealing with tax problems right now. Like, we got a tax return, and it's a pretty nice tax return. I'm pretty pumped about it. But the government keeps on rejecting my tax return, so I'm getting very unhappy.
Fantastic.
I don't understand why, and I want to understand why. I keep on trying to call them, and they're like, we're busy. Call again later. I'm like, you guys are so freaking reliable.
Mhm. And people want universal health care. That'll work out great, wouldn't it?
Oh,
See, the thing is, there's pros and cons to each side, but we're not going to cover healthcause.
Politics.
We're not going to
Let's
cover.
get into that.
You know what? I think we are the last ones that need to be talking about politics on any podcast, because like we are all special people.
What? Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
now, yeah. Perfect segue. Huber, you and I were talking about we were hoping the Gen 8 Pokemon female trainer is Scottish. So yeah, you know what you need to do, but I'm going to explain this to Josh. So Josh, a little while ago, the Gen 8 Pokemon games were announced. It's coming into Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
I know, so a lot of us are pumped about it. It's called Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I'm going to send you, your phone at least, I'm going to send you pictures of what these starters look like.
Okay.
And just so you can see, because I would come around to show you, but that's just too much
It's
work.
just so extra.
We have phones for a reason.
That's right.
So let me find the picture of them.
Okay, I got the video.
You have the video ready? So these are the 3 starters, and I'll go through them as they send through. The first one I sent to you is the fire starter. Have you gotten them yet, or?
Just now did.
Yeah, okay. So the fire starter is called Score Bunny, and it's a fire rabbit. And it's got like the little tape over it.
It's
on
so
its feet.
cute.
I know. And then there's Sobble, which actually that's a cropped picture, and but it's adorable. It's that's Sobble. That's the water starter Sobble. And then there's Grookey, the little grass
Aww.
starter. And
There's like a little monkey.
I know. So you have
He's
a
so
monkey.
cute.
Sobble's sort of like a lizard-ish thing. I don't know what he is. And
Yeah.
then Score Bunny's a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is, it's funny, is this game is very heavily influenced by Great Britain or the UK.
Oh, really? Oh, that's why it's Sword and Shield, like knights.
Yeah, and so like, because in the trailer stuff we've seen, we saw like sort of castle-esque stylings, and then all the characters were wearing sort of like very UK style clothing, and so everybody has made the joke that the female starter is heavy Scottish.
Heavy Scottish.
And Huber's going to play this video for us that I'm going to have to bleep out a lot because it's hilarious. And this is what a Scottish Pokemon trainer would sound like, and we
There you
need
go.
this in life. No, you need to put it to your microphone.
I'll
so we
put it to
can-
my microphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we can all hear this.
Why to cast Pokemon stupid? Like, you're getting strong, aren't you? As if the wee is going to be like, hey, Moira, you're spot on, I'm on the XP share. Oi, Slag, you want to have a cheeky Pokemon fight? Is the Pope Catholic, you cheeky tart?
It's the Pokemon.
So that's everybody wants the female Pokemon trainer
Yes.
to be heavy Scottish, even though they don't speak. They just want her to be super Scottish.
She
which,
better be.
which I think would be hilarious, personally.
Super Scottish and fan fiction only, right?
What?
What?
No.
No, actually, Huber, I need to ask you this. Since you're the only one with a Nintendo Switch here, only other one, are you gonna get Sword or Shield?
Well, obviously Sword. Who would get Shield?
Noah Davis, actually.
That's disgusting.
Noah Davis won Shield.
Well, Noah Davis is what we consider basic in all forms and manners.
Yeah, he's a weeb, isn't he?
He's a plebeian,
Yes.
straight up.
Yes.
But I'm trying to focus, but every time I feel like I'm getting into good conversation, all of a sudden I just notice my mic is shrinking
Drops low.
and lowering, and I'm
we'll
like,
fix it, but we'll fix it later.
yeah,
We'll fix it when we record.
We'll
future
fix it next
right.
week.
Yeah, next week we'll actually set it up in a proper way.
Yes.
Now, big thing. I've been talking. So, surprisingly, we've been getting some, like, not a lot of traction, but we've been having fun with our podcasts. Yeah, Huber, we can all hear that.
Yes, Huber, that is very
It's okay.
loud.
Hey, you guys want to? I'll continue it.
Huber's fidgety. We got to get him a fidget spinner for this podcast.
Yes.
But then we would just hear. No, but so the thing is, I've been talking to a bunch of our friends. First off, let's just cover this: the fraud ratings we've been getting on iTunes by an undisclosed member of this podcast left a rating on our podcast just to sort of explain their faults with it. I don't know who it could have been.
I don't know either.
I can't remember. What are we talking about?
I'm just gonna say the username was Husband 2018.
Sounds like a cool guy. He got married in 2018. That's dope.
Hugh, were you married?
No, I'm not married.
I've been successfully single for 19, almost 20 years. So, I mean, Josh, are you married?
Well, let's consider definitions. What does it mean to be married? Right?
Do you have a ring on your finger?
It's made of rubber.
Made of rubber.
But, like, dost thou have a wing?
Okay. Thou hast ring.
No, but I honestly, we have been getting some feedback on other sites, not iTunes, really. But I've actually been talking to a bunch of different people, and there's one thing that I've gotten a couple times, Josh, and this is directed towards you. I've gotten a couple different questions on what is our logo. So I actually talked to some of them, and Huber knows who I've talked to.
Yes.
But actually multiple people have asked, but I asked one person to give me questions for you about our logo.
Okay, good.
Question number 1. Why?
Question number 1, why? So when we were thinking about the title of our podcast, we were thinking about things that were crazy and scattered, and because we didn't really think we were going to have just set topics that, you know, like was a main focus of the entire podcast. So we were like, okay, how do we figure that out? So I thought about scattered pottery, and I told Kanan that, and Kanan was like, scattered pottery, really, Josh? And I was like, yes, scattered pottery. I can just imagine it now. A broken pot with lots of little pieces flying out or on the ground. And that was my first vision. But then when I sat down at my computer to start creating the logo, I said, oh, no, I've got such a better idea. I want it to be goofy and like little cartoon man.
Now stop there, because you're starting to answer other questions.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
So question number 2. Well, you kind of answered that. Question number 3. What is the logo?
The logo... Well, he doesn't have a name yet. What should we name him?
That's what I was about to say. Well, we'll
Richard.
So we'll think about it, because the next question is, what is the Pop-Tart looking thing?
I'm trying to look and think.
Oh, man.
So that's our mascot. We just need to name him Scatty.
Yes.
Scatty like poop.
Scatty. I like
Scatty. Scatty.
Little Scatty.
Little
Scatty.
Scatty.
Well, I kind of stumbled onto him as a
Pop-Tart looking.
as a little animation for free, thank goodness. And I was like, you know what? He looks pretty freaking cool. He looks like a dope dude I would want to have on my logo. So I was like, sure, let's do it. So snagged him, and then I had on this really, and you know, guys, like creating content on like Adobe and stuff, like I tried to do that for a while, and it was really difficult for me to really focus on it. Then I found this thing called Canva, and it's super like free, really easy to use, but it's so basic, and you can't do a lot. And oh man, he's about to get bit by a spider. I'm like so excited. He crawled up into his shirt. Oh my gosh, that thing is gnarly.
Josh,
Yes.
you were in the middle of a conversation.
Well, why do you have Spiderverse playing, man?
Because it's a fantastic
Why?
movie, and I thought it was...
Why?
Yeah, so,
Oh, the spider's gone now.
Spider's gone,
That
Josh.
spider failed.
Yeah, Spider fail.
He didn't accomplish his mission. Poor guy.
You know what I just realized?
What?
I'll bleep this part out because I just realized next week we're gonna
Spoilers.
still be.
It's all right.
I'll just mention at the. So yeah, this is just a long. Beep.
That's funny.
I'll just beep out the words that we can. Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. So, back to what I
you
was
didn't
saying.
hear that.
Back
You
to what I
didn't.
was saying. What was I talking about
Podcast.
again?
You did not hear. You're talking about the logo, and Canva or whatever.
Right. So Canva is super basic. It does not have a lot of extra things you can do for your own kind of creativity into it. So I decided to take what I had done and I revamped it in Adobe Illustrator.
Okay.
And oh man, did it turn out way better in Adobe Illustrator. But if I can name him, it's Scatty. I like Scatty. I think that's beautiful.
Scatty.
What he is, I don't know. I remember I imagined scattered pottery, so I thought, what better than a dude who's ripping at the seams,
Yeah, and that's what
coming
answers,
out of a broken pot. I was like, it's beautiful. It's brilliant.
That answers most of the rest of the questions, which is like, why is the pot broken? What is the face? What caused it to break in half? That's just sort of the theme of the podcast. Now, I'm glad you mentioned all that art things because we need a banner.
Yes, we do.
We need, and I've given you some ideas for the banner, and we don't need to.
We should
discuss
vote on
those
it. We should get see. It might bring more people to want to talk about it, and it can kind of produce more community interaction. But get people to vote on it. Like, should we do a banner with? Go ahead and give what you told me we should do.
Well, I had two different ideas. One was either just Josh drew a little cartoony version of us sitting around the table, and us doing the podcast with Scatty behind us. Now that we've named him, and the other idea was that each of us would come to you and just tell you what we believe is like a best representation of ourselves. And you draw that in a super cartoony style as like we're sort of running along the back of the banner. And the reason one thing I've decided for the banner for sure, whatever it is, it's gonna be that like, what's that color? Pink? Like, what's the name of that color?
I honestly don't know. It's like a pastel pink.
I wanted to say pastel, but I didn't want to. So like, I wanted to be a pastel because it would be really cool since we actually recently revamped our icons for logos and stuff. That it's just Scatty now instead of having the title and everything. So what I was thinking is that since our logo is now just sort of that solid pink with Scatty on them, we should, like, if we had the banner also the pastel pink, it would just blend together like one giant banner. So it would just be a cool thing.
That would be cool.
Yeah, let us know if we should do sort of a conventional sitting around a table cartoony drawing or a super cartoony drawing of each of us sort of in our best selves.
I
Yeah.
like
Josh,
that
is
idea.
this
That
how you
sounds
met
good.
your wife?
I think
Oh.
it is.
No.
You didn't get your hand stuck in her hair?
No, I did not get
Whoa.
Oh, she just straight. What's up? And he still got his hand stuck in this girl's. Oh, poor girl. Oh man, the spoilers of this movie.
Everyone's seen this movie, Josh.
How has everyone seen this movie?
Hubert,
I
have
have
you
not
seen this movie?
I have.
Gosh,
I've seen
dang
this
it.
movie multiple times.
Ugh.
Caleb's seen this movie. My
I'm
sisters
sorry.
have seen this movie. Almost everyone's seen this movie except you, Josh.
What can I say? I'm behind everything.
Yes, you are.
It's because I'm basically a grandpa now.
You are a grandpa.
That's right. What?
Yeah, I got married and became a grandpa. I am my
Wait
own
a minute,
grandpa.
you skipped a couple steps.
You guys remember that? Cole Lawrence loved that video. Isn't that I am my own grandpa? That's the name of the video.
Oh, like that song?
Yeah,
that
it was
country
super dumb
like,
song, but
I am my own grandpa. It's
loved
like
it. He loved it.
what was it? It was like my father married my daughter. I think it was that. I think it was like
we don't need to talk about this. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
yeah, it's not worth our time.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's stupid.
Oh man. So
But that's
Hubert,
interesting. So
anything
people
you
had
wanna say?
questions about the.
not as detailed as that. Most of them have just been like, "What's your logo? Like, what is it?" And so I asked one person to like give me sort of detailed questions. Stop going to sleep, computer.
No.
So, Huber, you haven't been talking.
Yes, I've been listening.
It's because you're sick, isn't it?
Yes, I'm trying not to curse the people with my sickness.
Curse us a little bit.
So yeah, we do need a banner. It would be nice if y'all left suggestions what you guys think we should do. The art style, if need be. If it needs to be, at night, during the day, just whatever background, the characters, or if it can literally just say our name, whatever y'all think.
Yeah, we just need something. All right. What do we go to from here? Josh?
Yeah, where should we go from here?
I'm just gonna keep on
Oh my
bouncing
gosh.
to you.
I'm so excited for you to give me this so I can just enjoy every second of this.
Dude,
and
you're
my
gonna
wife
love
will
this
just
movie.
be there
No,
like, what are you
'cause here's the
doing?
thing,
Why
Josh.
are you watching that? I'll be like, because it's the best movie ever.
No, so a fun fact about all of us. We all have some sort of connection to art in some sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ish. Like, for example, Josh Lee is a full straight-up artist.
I guess you could say that.
Josh, do not even freaking deny
Yeah,
that.
he is.
You are literally the most artistic person I know.
He's the next
Also,
Donatello.
the most autistic person I know. But
You know what?
Yeah,
I
what?
take
Yeah.
offense to that.
do
Take
you?
serious offense to that.
You take offense to being called an artist?
Oh,
wait.
No. And then Huber, he can draw better than I can. You can.
Huber, stop twisting that thing.
yeah, it's great.
So Huber is semi an artist.
He can see good art. He can see good art.
And me, I can doodle. That's it. I can't draw. I can doodle. But I am probably the biggest nerd over art or something that looks good and artistic, which is why I love this movie so much.
It's very artistic.
And that's why I know you're going to love it, Josh. Especially there's one scene towards the end of the film that sadly we won't make it to.
Yeah.
That is so like, ooh, and your eyes are just gonna be like, ooh,
Oh yeah.
and you are just like you're just gonna be out.
Okay, I accept that. I accept
Yeah.
that with.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow this movie.
I'm
Just
so
return
excited.
it.
I'm so excited to borrow it.
I know.
But so we heard about your week, and
My week.
Yeah,
what
and then
about
I
your
just
week?
answered
What about
questions.
your week?
My week was normal. I mean, I work. Oh, I had a sick day yesterday, so that was pretty helpful. I was just feeling like poo poo.
Feeling like poo poo.
Yeah.
I feel like poo poo right now.
But hey, I got this in the mail yesterday, so I was super pumped about that.
There you
So
go.
Lay microphone is hot stuff, and I enjoy it so much. So like, what we did is, like Kanan said at the beginning, like our man Huber got a microphone today,
Yeah.
and that's because I bought a new microphone. It's a Yeti, a Blue Yeti, and it is fabulous. I love it. I love how it sounds. I love how it functions. And then Huber got my old Blue Snowball,
Yeah.
and I love that too. It's a great microphone.
All of us have decent microphones.
Yeah, we do.
And so like that's great. It's great.
And one thing that's great about condenser microphones is it doesn't matter, honestly. And I should have figured this out sooner, but I could have gotten a cheaper one
Yeah.
and just gotten like the bells and whistles. It would have came up to about $70-something. But as long as you know what you're doing with editing
Oh,
and
no,
EQ,
no, no.
you can make a
Like,
cheap microphone
Let
sound
me
amazing.
tell you something. As someone who has done sound stuff for 6 going on 7 years now.
You don't need to watch this part.
No, we can't go silent, guys. Awkward
Oh.
silence is not okay on a podcast.
No, Huber. Huber's right.
You can't watch this.
Of the movies you're gonna see today.
That's fine with me.
There you go.
Yeah.
fine with me.
So, but even the pause screen is the most epic
Wow.
thing ever. Oh my god!
I didn't know.
If you own Spiderverse on DVD, don't pause it. I mean, like if you stop it, like because I hit the stop button, the thing that usually boots you out to the main DVD player menu. That's the coolest thing ever.
I want that to be my screensaver on my computer.
I'm going to find that and get it as a wallpaper
That's
Yes.
gorgeous.
for my laptop. That is Oh my gosh, this movie's even its DVD superior to other movies. So as someone who's done sound for 6 years, what I've realized is you do not need top of the line stuff for anything. Like, for example, our student ministry, we have 2 jank XLR mics for I would say about $30 each, and we ran them through a jank board. But the thing is that most of the sound of it comes through in the editing process. And also, I'm sorry about last week's episode that had a little bit of echo to it, and that's because Huber and I had to share a mic, so we had to adjust some gain levels.
Poor
and
people
so, unless I literally wanted to go through the entire 40-minute episode and cut out our microphone while Josh was speaking, which, as much as I have the free time to do, I wasn't going to do that to myself.
It's a lot of extra. On the clip that I edited the other night just to test EQs and stuff on Audition, I was so shocked at how time-consuming it is and how you have to focus on everything.
Oh, no. But here's the thing. So you mentioned how tricky it can be to do such EQing and stuff like that. But eventually, when you've done it for a long, long time, it's less of you just know what to do. It is that your ears and this is just me personally, my ears can tell where the frequency is coming from and what needs to go up or down. And then also you just know like standard rules on what sounds good for certain voices, which is also a great thing. Now that we all have 3 separate microphones, we can EQ to each of our voices.
There we go.
Which is a problem because like Huber has a deeper voice than I do.
I'm sick too.
Yeah, he's sick right now too. So
and
that
I've
would
got
have
lots of bass in my voice.
So the thing is that when you typically what you do with a microphone, this is free advice for all of you that up and coming sound production guys, usually you try to fill in where the voice is lacking. So like if you have a deep voice, you usually up its highs and not really drop its low ends, but just kind of like up the highs.
Right.
And if you have a female, what do you mean?
There's a program, or there's like an EQ adjustment for the bass level.
I forget the name of it. I don't mess with the preset ones. I always just dive into the EQ settings itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because like on Audition, they have one that has multiple, and it's for the highs, and then there's another one that's mostly for bass.
Yeah, and so like, and here's another thing that's very important for all of you. Almost all voices fall in what is referred to as the mid-range, which is not the high frequencies or the low frequencies. It's called the mids. And so that's why you have things like on most boards, you'll have settings for high mids and low mids. So you can adjust that because that's where the voices usually are, is in your mid area.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I hope you're all still awake. It's like, as Kanan goes through the science of, because they all come in through at a different wavelength,
right? Which
is frequencies, as we know, and so usually around the 100.
Yeah. We're all just snoring.
Well, I look at Huber, and Huber looks like he wants to die.
Well, Huber's probably really needing
some sleep,
some assistance.
You need some Advil.
I need some NyQuil, man.
You need some.
I'm skipping tomorrow at school.
He feels weak.
Well,
you are.
I might skip tomorrow.
His eyes are all watery. Aww. I'm so sorry, Huber.
Yeah, I'm dying, dude.
Huber wants.
Do you want to jump into our next topic so you can take a break?
What?
So we can like finish the episode.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So I guess the best way to jump into this is, you have to edit this out, but
no.
Do you want us to talk about it?
I mean, well, here's the thing. So, for those
I
of
think
you,
it brings up a lot of controversy.
Which
we could talk about. The shooting.
The shooting. So, we're gonna let's just do this for a second. Full transparency. These episodes are recorded weeks before they come out.
Yeet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we're always a little touchy if we should cover recent news, because by the time the episode comes out, maybe there's another big story, or there's there's our story is irrelevant or the information's changed. So this episode's supposed to come out what day would that be? It's supposed to come out like the
next.
Well, no, Alan, I'm going to try to like find the actual date when it comes out. This episode's supposed to come out the 25th.
Okay.
Do we want to cover the shooting in New Zealand at the mosque?
I mean, we can.
I think we should. I think it brings up some really important things, mainly because it's this. I mean, no one's like, and this is one thing I think would be really important for us to do really quick is just take a moment of silence for these people that lost family members and stuff, because no one does that when they talk about this. They immediately jump into this whole political jargon. It's like,
again, we're gonna try to avoid politics as much as we
Right.
can, because like we're all relatively smart people.
relatively, yeah.
Relatively. Like, I mean, we can count. Well, Josh can't count to
Count to
five.
5.
Josh, and you guys will never understand. Actually, I will do my best to make sure you understand what that means. I'll need your clip, Josh.
Yeah, and I don't think it brings up like political issues either. Personally, I think it brings up cultural issues and things that we're just gonna have to deal with later on. Like my kids are gonna have to deal with this eventually, and that freaks me out.
So, for those of you who don't know what happened,
How could you?
I mean,
Yeah, it's everywhere.
so Friday morning, was it not Friday morning?
I'm
Or
not
was
sure.
it?
I think it was 2 p.m. for New Zealand.
Well, yeah, but
Friday
like, what
morning
time is
for
that
us.
here? Like Friday.
It was
morning.
pretty early in the morning.
Yeah, I remember it being fairly early.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
I wake up at 4:30 every morning, and I went to go do my quiet time, and I got on my computer to open up my Bible app, and sure enough, boom, there it was, the headlines:
Yep.
New Zealand massacre.
Yeah, so, like because I remember I had an 8 a.m. World Religions class actually, and we talked about this. So basically, what happened? It was 3 people, if I'm not mistaken, right? There were 3 different people.
Well, there's a lot of stuff about that. Apparently, people have been saying it's just one guy.
Yeah, he
Well,
said he
like-
acted alone, and the other guys who got arrested have been let go.
So it's only the one guy.
As of right now.
Yeah.
So there was 3 people were arrested for this. We'll just say that at the time of this recording, 3 people were arrested, but allegedly 2 of them were let go. Huber, is that right?
The people who they thought were with him have been let go.
Okay. So basically, it was a shooting up in a mosque in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. 2 mosques.
Two different mosques.
In Christchurch, New Zealand.
Yeah, but what was the death count? It was
50 dead and like an equal number injured.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's get that moment of silence done now before we actually do exactly what we
Right.
just said.
Right. Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll go with 5 seconds.
Yeah, and our hearts obviously go out to
Yeah.
these people. I mean, they experience something that few
Horrific.
people deserve to experience. I mean, we've seen so many shootings recently, like the school shootings. It's just it's awful, and it's just another expression of like how fallen and broken our world is, and how much the light of Jesus needs to shine in those dark places. But one thing that hurts and crushes me is to see how quickly people will just take this, and they're just like, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. I'm like,
Yeah, well, people,
they're calling it a national global terrorist movement.
and people are using it for their own gain instead of worrying about other people. They're like, oh, immediately it's this person's fault or these people's fault.
Right.
It doesn't make it. It's annoying. What it
It's
is.
so annoying. And you know what's crazy is they're pointing to America. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we
That
are the
doesn't make
white
any sense to
supremacist
me.
nation, and all we
Yeah.
do is push white supremacy. I'm like, guys, a lot of the stories you recognize, and like I've read article after article right now that continues to link to other people who have influenced the shooters, and I'm like, these are all either European men or the like what I guess Europe still kind of runs into Russia, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like half of Russia's.
a little bit of Russia. So like even up there as well in northern Asia,
Yeah.
Asia area, it's like a lot of white supremacy beliefs, and were founded there. It didn't start in the West. It did not start in the West. And it drives me crazy how they're linking it in such weird ways. The lingo. What is the definition of white supremacy? Like they're changing all these definitions.
Well,
They are.
yeah. Well, yeah. But one thing that I haven't really seen mentioned through this it's actually this is actually, like, I mean, the timing of this was especially interesting for me because, as I said, I'd taken a world religions class, and we actually, last week and this week, we've been discussing Islam, and then this all happened. So, like, it was, and it was interesting. So what my professor assigned us to do is look up on an article on Islamophobia, which is a real thing, because people believe, because of the things that certain radical, like Islamic people did, that all of them are like that. And so it's interesting because it's all stuff like white supremacy or stuff like that, but no one mentions the fact that it's just like it's again just it's hard to explain.
No,
religion.
I think you're going the right direction.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
and I
more
heard
of
it said like
fear.
this. I made sure to retweet it on Twitter because I've never really been one big on Twitter, but lately I've just been like, you know what? There's some interesting people I can follow that like share my beliefs, and I can just learn some stuff from them as well.
Twitter's a scary place.
But one of my favorite apologists, he is an amazing person. I wanted us to talk about our favorite podcast, and we'll do that probably later on another episode. But
Yeah.
one of my favorites it's called The Dividing Line,
Okay.
and it's his YouTube live stream podcast. But he basically tweeted off of this one post by it's like a Muslim account called Muslim Matters, and they basically retweeted another person's post that says this: "It's time to silence the leaders of this terrorist cult forever. Let's start with," and then he starts just listing off a bunch of names on Twitter and real people, and he says they need to be removed from society permanently. Authorities must act today, and then he does hashtag Christchurch attack. And I'm just like, and he said it too in his podcast, and it just spoke to me so loud because I was like, this is crazy. Because how many Muslim radicals have walked into churches and slaughtered people? That 50 and the 100 injured is multiplied by like 15 around the world for how many people in the name of Muhammad have slaughtered Christians.
Yes.
You mentioned that.
And what if Christians retweeted these people, and these people who support them need to be brought down? I'm like, I would never, ever, ever, ever say that Christians should do that. And I would, but I see the hypocrisy, and it's just, it itches me. And remember what I used to say in school all the time? Because we always had to wear khakis. That chaps my khakis. Oh man.
Now, while Huber looks up what he's trying to look up, have you guys heard the legend of Egg Boy in Australia?
Yes, I was reading about it today. I did not watch the video yet.
Okay, hey Huber, have you heard about Egg Boy?
Yes, I think I don't care who the person is. That's extremely disrespectful.
So
to do that to a
disrespectful.
political figure.
but-
I don't care if you don't like him.
Well, do you know the whole story of Egg Boy?
He was saying Muslims need to get out of New Zealand.
Yeah, so
But still,
the senator. But wait a minute, you didn't mention something very important. So I can't remember the senator's name, but apparently, funny thing, he wasn't even like, he won the senator's chair with 19 votes. There was a complication during his election, so he like won because he just was there.
Wow.
So 19. So he wasn't exactly wanted in office, and he's not a good guy. We're gonna just. Oh no, we're rapping. We're rapping. Don't worry. We're gonna end on this little story. So this kid who's about 17 years old goes to a meeting where he talks about it, and he just gets an egg and just on his head. Now the thing is that there's both sides to this. Like, the kid shouldn't have done it first off.
Yeah. No, he should not have done that.
But what the senator does afterwards, he definitely should not have done. So the senator turns to the kid.
punches him. I would have punched the kid too.
Well, hold on. He smacks him once. And then, like, afterwards, he, like, comes at him and hits him a few more times.
Well, no, the kid retaliated.
Well, no, the kid did not retaliate.
Yes, he did.
You didn't watch the video.
No, I heard many commentaries on it where the kid, like, got hit and was like, "Are you serious?" and, like, went back at it.
But that's not... Hold on. I'm going to show you... I'm going to pull up this video. Because, like, the video I saw, Egg Boy egged him.
Egg Boy.
The guy turns, hits him, and then backs away, and like maybe he like went like this or something like that, and then the guy just starts wailing on him, and then 3 other dudes tackle him, one of which was a white supremacist confirmed. and puts him in a chokehold
Oh shoot.
and takes him to the ground as the other guys start beating him up.
Oh shoot. Okay, so that's pretty intense.
Yeah, that's the part that not many people talk about.
Oh yeah.
Just you both kind of.
But I mean, the disrespect.
Oh no.
And he's a political figure. It doesn't matter if you disagree with his beliefs. I mean, one thing. I mean, and I know it's not America, so it's a big difference. Like in America, we have like
Free
at
speech.
least some men and women who have very good moral. Some, not all of them. In fact, majority do not have moral compasses at all. But the ones that do understand what respect is and what it means to
You can kind of see
what
this,
your
like,
position
on.
kind of entails.
So like, gets hit, then the guy just starts wailing on him.
Oh.
He gets taken down.
Well, other people obviously jumped on him.
Yeah, and so the thing is that like
I think he threw one punch in though. That's all
he
that happened.
well, no. The senator,
Yeah,
no.
go ahead,
He
go
hit
back
him
to it.
twice almost. Because if you see like, there's the one boom, and then boom. And then just everyone else
the kid
takes him
put his
down.
hands out too. He
Yeah.
did. He retaliated
And
too.
so there's the whole thing of
But
like,
he's famous now.
Well,
That
he-
kid has gotten so public about that.
but here's the thing. So he put up a GoFundMe page, and hold on.
It's for the victims, I know.
Yeah, he put up a GoFundMe page for the victims of the shooting.
Yes.
So like,
Honorable.
there's the moral quandary of like, what the kid did was wrong.
Yeah.
No denying that. But what he did because of the popularity is better than what said politician was saying
Right.
at that moment.
Anyone could have done what he did, gotten
Yeah.
super popular about it, and done nothing. Just
That's
started
what I'm
racking
saying.
in the cash and been like, haha, I'm super happy.
And like, if you look at the GoFundMe page, one of the jokes he put on there was one of the reasons he wanted funding was it said 4 more eggs, and as a joke. But then then he got a ton of money from it. I think it was like over 50,000.
I'm sure people
like
are
that.
like, go egg more senators.
And then he was like,
Which is
I'm
ridiculous.
and he's just donated it all to
Yeah.
the victims.
I'm glad he did that. I'm glad he did that.
Because yeah, and it's funny. Have you guys heard of? This is what we'll end on, sort of. Have you guys heard the Twitter idea of milkshake duck?
No.
I don't.
Basically, what it is, and it's happened a bunch of times if you think about it in the past couple years. But it goes like, milkshake duck's the greatest thing ever. Look at this video. And then, like, a day later, it says, we regret to inform you that milkshake duck is racist. It's like, that sort of, like, it's sort of like standing of those people who hit, like, stardom so big.
Shut them down, they're racist.
And then all this,
Yeah.
well, like, those people who, like, come out of nowhere and everyone's like, look at this guy, he's great, he's awesome. And then they like find out some sort of dark secret about them. It's
I
like,
know.
oh, turns out,
And it could be
he's-
another topic for another time.
and
but
like
it's-
so,
oh,
milkshake
man.
duck's not a real thing, but it's a figure of speech people
Right.
have started using on Twitter, like Ken Bone, for example.
Right.
Yeah, rip that man.
Yeah, Ken Bone like hit the top of the world during the 2016 elections.
Right.
But then people found out he was like into really shady.
Just weird porn.
Yeah, some weird porn. And so, like, that's sort of the idea of Milkshake Duck. Like, look at Milkshake Duck. He's so awesome and great. We regret to inform you that Milkshake Duck is racist.
Yeah, basically.
So
That's so funny.
And
I
that's
mean,
the thing.
same thing with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and so the thing is,
Rip.
I hope Egg Boy
Ripped twice.
I hope Egg Boy doesn't have any dark secrets, because
Oh, I
they
know.
will be coming out soon.
Oh,
If
yeah.
not, granted, by the time this episode comes out, Egg Boy's probably like
He could be arrested. Who
he
knows?
could be.
Who knows?
Egg Boy
Arrested.
spikes some eggs with some coke.
It shocked me genuinely to hear that someone did that, because if that happened in the United States,
Oh,
That'd be riots.
I mean, it
Holy
would start probably a civil war. I
Well,
mean,
no,
it would just.
But you have
it
to
would
realize
go so
it's
badly.
a senator. You have to, if we're gonna compare it over, it'd have to be a senator from the U.S.
Right. Exactly.
And it wouldn't be like, because I think both Huber and I immediately jumped to like if someone egged the president.
Oh man, Secret Service guy would just.
That's what I'm
take
saying.
him down.
that
and
man
so-
either wouldn't be alive or would not
Dude,
come back
but
from
but
where he came.
I'm before we close, I'm just gonna say this: the people who put the kid in a headlock, I think that's too far. Because I'm not sure if you guys realize how dangerous headlocks are.
Yeah, they are super dangerous.
Because if you do one thing wrong, they are either paralyzed or dead.
Hmm
So like,
It's not like the movies where they just pass out. No.
yeah,
it's not
no,
like
that
that.
you don't like, and it's like it's just not right to put someone in a headlock, especially when they, like, I mean, he's 17.
That is. There's
I don't
no
think that's an
excuse.
excuse. It's
There's
like
no
but I don't
excuse
like
though.
it.
I think the guy, speaking of which, coming out today, the black teen who shot 15 people, was it?
Oh my God.
Not, it wasn't recent.
Okay.
He was in jail. He's in jail for the rest of his life, but he's getting a new hearing that he might get parole potentially because he was just 17.
Oh,
but
my gosh.
Well,
like,
there's a fine line between, like, because we've all done stupid things. Granted, not us especially, not us specifically.
Understandable, but
Because-
obviously there's a miss though.
Yeah.
There's a miss because he should have people telling him what respect looks like, and the whole
Yeah.
activist movement says screw that stuff. Like, do what you feel like you need to in order to make a statement.
See,
And that's where
But then
I
there's
wanna
also the
draw a
difference
line.
between juvie and jail, and
Right.
when do we cross the line of adulthood? Like, when is someone old enough to do it? And definitely, it's going to be a problem for years to come, because we mentioned this last time, how respect is definitely something that has fallen away in the newer generation. And like, that's the thing. Like, someone has to, like, put down the law on this so we can specify, because, like, the kid's 17. I don't believe his life should be ruined because he egged someone in the head.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
like,
I agree.
because, well, I mean, the 17-year-old that shot a bunch of people, there should be consequence of that, but I don't
Huge
believe,
consequences.
because I don't believe that excuse is nearly as warranted as Egg Boy.
Right, Egg Boy is not the same as
Like-
murdering
Yeah.
15 people.
yeah.
But I think just moving into the closing, and we had talked about it. We're going to try to start doing this new thing
Sound
called
like a
At
Southern
Jesus
Baptist
Closing.
we sound like a Southern Baptist pastor. Finally in closing.
Finally in closing.
To
Please-
listener.
please
Finally in
close-
closing.
Please open up your hymnals.
I
As my
love this
teeth
hymnal.
fly out of my face.
I
from
love this
preaching.
hymnal.
But we're doing a new thing at the end where we call it At Jesus Closing.
Oh,
And
I didn't know we're starting that now.
we're doing it now.
Yo.
I like it. And we're just gonna end on, I really believe that as Christians, like with Egg Boy and with big, really honestly, like, that's a moral problem. Murder.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
need to stand up against things that are big issues. And even with Egg Boy, like, understand different consequences, but do we praise him? No.
No,
'Cause
I
what
don't
he did
believe
was
Egg Boy
wrong.
deserves praise, but I definitely don't believe that Egg Boy deserves shame for what happened. Like, that's the thing. And actually,
He probably just deserves some laughs.
well, yeah, and like, cause also, let's just put this out. The senator was bald. He didn't get yolk in his hair.
Feels bad.
Like, give the man a tissue, like Huber has over there, which Huber
Right.
needs more tissues.
I need more. I want to go get some more in a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like,
So on closing, that's our At Jesus Closing. Just, hey, Christians, stand out for what is right and make sure we let people know what is wrong.
don't you dare, Huber.
But I'm Josh,
I'm David.
And I'm Kanan.
and this is the Scatterpot Podcast. We'll see you later.